I'm struggling with the PowerPoint display. I'm going to do my best to make sure that this happens without any hesitation. There you go. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. My name is Preeti Muzumdar. I started baking at the age of 12. Yes, that early because we were a lucky generation which got a chance to learn baking as life skills in our school. As part of my 8th standard syllabus, we had one subject as baking. And trust me when I say this, that I was never a monitor for science, maths, English. But yes, baking, I was the monitor, and that is my first experiment with baking as early as in the 8th standard. Now, there I got introduced, but at home, I had a very traditional South Indian upbringing, so I didn't really get a chance to do any baking. We didn't even have an oven at home. And as most South Indian traditional families would expect their daughters or their sons to be in secure banking jobs, I joined the ICICI group, worked for their IT enabled services and their international call center, where I spent 10 years working with great leaders, managing 1,000 plus teams, traveling different countries, and learned all my business management skills, communication skills, working for 10 years for the ICICI group. Um, this was a very powerful stint for me. It gave me a lot of perspective on trying to enhance my personality and to become the person that I am today. After my daughter was born, I took a sabbatical. I was finding it very difficult to manage the business as well as the home. And therefore, I decided to quit my job and spend time with my daughter. And that's the time I really rekindled my passion for baking. So got myself a nice convection oven, started baking for my daughter, and I would go online, search for recipes, ask my friends, learn from a lot of people, and keep trying. And to my surprise, I did a fantastic job. So if you look at the screen, there are two cake pictures. These were the first two real cakes that I made in my life. That star cake that is there is something that I made for a family get together. The doll cake that I made was for my daughter's birthday, for her 6th birthday. Um, it was really something that I realized that I enjoyed doing, and I wanted to make sure that I am able to, continue doing this. And therefore, I decided that I want to take this to the next level and become an entrepreneur and start my home baking business. Okay. It wasn't enough for me to just start this business. It was important for me to learn a lot of skills to become confident about what I'm going to deliver. So I learned chocolate making. These are my gurus actually. The lady over there with the lovely cake is Ketki Bhosle. She trained me for my baking skills and my chocolate making skills. She was my first trainer. And she really challenged me to make sure that I learn, and learn again. I joined Khadika Mudyog, where I did a diploma in bakery management. After that, I joined Sophia Polytechnic. Okay, Sophia Polytechnic runs a 1-year full-time course, which I enrolled for, and I was among the few students who actually passed out with a A plus plus grade. And it really made me feel very confident about the fact that yes, this is something that is really coming from my heart, and I should pursue it. That picture of the gentleman there is Uncle Haley. He's one of the pioneering sugar craft artists. He makes amazing wedding cakes, and I learned all my sugar craft skills from him. So the name Chocokates, this is there is an interesting story to this. As I told you, my daughter was my inspiration to start baking. I wanted to do, everything that I did once I took the sabbatical was centered around her because that was the primary joy of my life. And she didn't know how to say chocolates. She would say chocolates, chocolates, and that's how the name Chocokates came up. So that's the interesting story of the name, and that's how it started. I managed this business from home for almost 3 years, and then decided to take this commercially. Okay, this is my team right now, and we are having two commercial units at Gorai, Borivali, and we have currently I have around 10 full-time staff and 5 part-time staff. For the last 2 to 3 years, I've been clocking revenue of 50 lakhs per annum, and it's given me a lot of joy, pride, and a lot of satisfaction of having done something from my passion. But let me tell you something, okay? The day we launched Chocokates commercially, I think I had the worst nightmares that day. Okay, everything was set. I had hired one chef and a helper, and we had made 50 odd cakes. It was on Christmas Day that I actually launched my commercial unit. So 7 years back on 25th of December, all set with 50 cakes baked, iced, decorated, lots of balloons, lots of invitations sent out to friends and family. And 4 o'clock, everybody's walking in, family and friends. We had the ribbon cutting. Everybody's congratulating me, and we are taking this chance to chit chat. And I had all the butterflies in my stomach, and I was thinking, I have to be mad to do something as big as this. This is really going to be very, very difficult. I'm not sure what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Okay. Uh, 6 o'clock, still chatting, having fun with family, friends, getting a lot of flowers and, a lot of pictures being taken. Still not a single customer walking in. By now, I was convinced that, it's the idea of doing all this is really, really going to be the most insane thing I've done in my life. 6:30, no customers. 7 o'clock, the first customer walks into my shop, buys a pastry. 7:30, more customers walk in. 8:30, more customers walk in. And by 10:30 at night, we were completely sold out. Completely sold out. All 50 cakes sold. And for the first day of my commercial business, I clocked a sale of 25,000 rupees. Guys, if you think that was great, can I have you put great in the chat box? I mean, that was a sign from God. And I really feel that, this is something that really made me feel that this is going to be the most awesome thing that happened. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for saying that. And honestly, that's the day I realized that baking is a serious business. It's a business where you can make money, and if you have the real passion, you can take this opportunity and make it big. Okay. Uh, so let me ask you now. I think you've heard from me, so I want to hear from you now. How many of you bake here as hobby? Can you put a me if you are one of those people who bake at home as a hobby? Great, great. And how many of you are home bakers who are attending this call today to understand, how many of you are home bakers who are doing this? Awesome, Ananya. Awesome. Yes, Mandar. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Preksha. Awesome. I'm so pleased that all of yeah, okay, there are some people who are contemplating the idea of becoming home bakers. So you are at the right place. Let me explain to you that this is the best idea or the best thing that you've done. So let me first congratulate each one of you to take the time out. I'm sure there's a lot of wonderful things you could have done. It's a nice pleasant afternoon. You could have taken a nap, spent time with your kids, or been on Facebook, but you decided to decided to join my webinar today. So congratulations. I think that's a sign from God for you as well if you want to start your own business. Okay. Let's just understand what is the difference between a hobby and a business. Okay. A hobby is something you do when you are very passionate, or something that gives you joy, or something that makes you happy. And most people start baking because it makes them happy. I think baking is really therapeutic. It calms your nerves. It makes you feel really, really happy because you can actually see a product which is in front of you, and everything that's with chocolates and fruits and flour, it's got to be satisfying for yourself and for your family. When you start making stuff that you want to give away to your friends and family, I when I started initially, I didn't really care whether they paid me, or whether it was I charging the right price. All those questions were never in my head. I was just so happy baking, and I was just so happy that people wanted my stuff. It just made me feel fantastic. Okay.
One
uh, but there is a but to it. And the but is that when I started getting more and more and more and more and more orders, I realized that I'm burning myself out. The amount of time, money, effort that I was putting against the money that I was earning, it wasn't really making any sense. So I realized that it's time for me to do some intervention here and correct whatever I've been doing and make sure that, I am doing this not as a hobby, but as a business. So if you are only, so who's a customer? A customer is somebody who pays you. Okay. So if you have not got a customer who pays you, and and you're just doing it for a hobby, then it's not a business, guys. Okay, you are just doing it because you want to do it. You are ready to spend that kind of time, money, and effort. Now, this webinar is not for those people. Let me be very clear. Here, I'm not talking about people who are okay to spend their time and money to create something where they don't care whether there's somebody actually buying their product. This is the forum where I'm going to tell you three secrets on how you can actually turn this business around and make money. Okay. So, are you guys ready? Do you all want to make money? So, can I have somebody, all of you who wants to make money, whether it's through this business or that business, let's just send out a loud shout out to the universe and say, yes, I want to make money. Yes, lots of money. Come on. Yeah. Great. Awesome.
Yes.
Huh. Okay. I also want to take a minute to acknowledge a few other people over here. Some of you have joined because you want to learn the tree tricks. Some of you have joined because you're already making cakes at home, but you want to do it as a business. And some of you have just joined here because they want to support me. So a big shout out, a big thank you to all of you, for my friends, my family who are here, who have just joined the call to encourage me. It means a lot, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. And I also want to especially thank Dr. Jashin, who's helping me set up this Zoom call and also broadcasting this on the YouTube channel. Thank you, Jashin, very much. All right, let's get started then. Okay, let's get started with the three secrets of home baking business. Okay, the first and the most important rule of any business is to become a specialist. Okay, look at that quote there and you'll see you can either be a very tiny small fish in a huge ocean, or you can be a big fish like a shark in a small pond. What would you like to be, shark or a tiny fish? Come on, let me hear that. Who wants to be a shark? Awesome. Great. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you how you can become a shark in your home baking business. Okay. Now, there's a lot of competition in every field, guys. I mean, if you look at it today outside, given the quarantine situation and how things are moving, it is going to be extremely difficult for us to sustain our business and consistently make a lot of money. So, what is going to differentiate you from the rest of the people? Okay. Now, what you can do is specialize or create a unique selling point or a product. Now, how you can do that is, based on what your talent is. Like I know a few of my friends who are excellent at bread making, okay, or great at sugar craft, or they are great at desserts, okay, and they have decided that that's what they're going to do. Now, what happens by doing it, as a unique selling point is that you're building a brand. People start recognizing you for that one unique product. Now, let me give you an example here. Okay, all of you are watching Mahabharat and Ramayan on TV these days. Uh, okay, so if you've seen Lord Krishna's character in Mahabharat, he also plays Lord Shiva in Kali. You see, he's made that his unique selling point. He wants to play only devotional leaders, and imagine him coming for a daily soap and acting as a romantic hero. It won't just fit his character, would it? I mean, it really would look like a misfit. And the reason for that is purely because he's created that niche for himself. Okay, if when Amitabh Bachchan started, he started as a hero who was a romantic hero. People always identify him with Silsila and such great movies. But today he's doing so many other movies. And why is he able to do all the genres today? Correct. He's established himself as a brand. Today he's a brand, and so when you're starting, at least you need to ensure that you specialize in one particular thing. Okay, and that one particular thing can be based on your talent. It can be also based on how much money you want to invest. like big cakes or big portions requires big investment. So if your investment capacity is low, then start small, do things, maybe small cakes. The other thing that you can do is also based on your goals. So if you want to decide that, I want to be known as the best sugar craft artist, then I want people to only know me as a sugar craft artist, not as a person who's making cream cakes. Now these are, some fundamental principles based on which you can decide what you want to specialize on. But the next one which I'm going to tell you is the most and the the best efficient way to decide what you want to specialize on, and that is assessing your customers need. Identify your target customers and look at them and listen to them and try to do something that will be your specialty. Let me give you an example here again. Okay, now I live in a building where there are only um, Gujaratis and Jain population. Predominantly, this area is a vegetarian kind of a setup. Now, if I start selling macaroons here, which is made out of eggs, I'm not going to have anybody buying my macaroons, right? If I was living in IC colony, I know where the population of Catholics is more, I would be making communion cakes, christening cakes, Easter eggs. By the way, the picture on that screen over there is the first set of sugarcraft which I did. Those are Angry Birds. Angry Birds was a great rage at that point in time. Angry Birds cup Easter eggs that we did. It actually got featured into a newspaper as well. So at that point in time, I specialized into doing Easter eggs. Okay, and I had tied up with an event manager who was selling them for me, and she had a great connections at the church, and it was a great launch for me at that point in time. So just to re-emphasize the point, find your niche, find what you are good at, find what your customers are asking for, and specialize in one thing. Don't be a tiny fish in a big pond. Be a shark. Okay, it helps you build your brand. It helps you create an identity for yourself and to create a target segment where you will be recognized. Now, some more examples I like to give you for the baking bit is that, nowadays vegan cakes are very popular, so you can set up that as your specialty. Gluten free cakes is another thing which people like these days. Everybody is becoming very health conscious, so that's another thing that you can look at. You can start supplying to cafes and restaurants. Okay, you will get bulk orders from them. That's like really hassle free because you have fixed days on which you will be supplying to them, and you can plan your production and you can do it. Of course, there are certain things where you will have to compromise on in terms of the price point, because a retail customer will be willing to pay you more as compared to a restaurant or a cafe owner. Okay, so that's another alternative that you have in terms of getting specialized in your field. Okay, you can be a blogger. Yeah, a lot of people have taken on learned baking because they want to start a blog or they want to be a trainer. Okay, like today I want to actually set out and impact other people's life, and I really think that learning baking has given me that opportunity. Okay, so that's the point on being a specialist. If you think you've learned something, can I have you say I learned in the chat box for me, please? Thank you, Pawan. Thank you. Okay, super. Great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, the second secret. Okay, I forgot to tell you all one very important thing. Okay, these are secrets. These are secrets which are best kept, and this is for this room only. Okay, it's not. I'm telling you that when you go to school or when you go to college or you go to any institute, they teach you a lot of things, but they don't teach you the simple things on how you learn to do things right in your business. Okay, there is a difference about when you actually get down to starting your business and learning from mistakes. Okay, there were mistakes that I made where I learned and I've corrected, and that's why today, from the mess that I've made this my message and I'm trying to share it with you. All right, now pricing, that's the second best kept secret. Let me tell you that 99% of the time, if a bakery or a home baker or any business, as a matter of fact, has failed, is because they haven't got their pricing right. Okay. Now, what do I mean by pricing? Okay, is basically how you are going to identify at what price you're going to sell your product. right? Okay, so the first point over there is do not discount yourself. Most people, when they are actually you know uh, starting off as home bakers, what they would do is they will include the cost of the ingredients, include the time they would put in for making that product, and add a little bit of a percentage of profit to it and price it and give it to your customer. Let me tell you that that was a very age old way of actually working out your pricing. Let's just assume that you started your baking business from home, but you did not do it yourself. You hired a chef, so you're going to pay that chef by the hour or a salary for the whole month. You're going to not wash the dishes after finishing your product making. You're going to ask your kamwali bai, whom we miss so much these days, guys. So, the kamwali bai is going to charge you. You appoint an advertising agency. You get into a partnership with a digital marketing person. You hire an accountant. You hire a market research person. All of these things, tasks. You're just going to outsource it and give it to somebody else. Are they going to do it for free for you? Come on, let me hear it. Do you think anybody would be willing to offer you free services? Yes or no? Absolutely not. Right, guys. So remember, if you are nobody is willing to offer those services free to you, why should be you doing it for free? I mean, it makes absolutely no business sense for you to do anything free. So there are a lot of hidden costs. You're going to spend hours and hours training, thinking, planning, interacting with your customers and doing things which is going to help you earn profits. Yes, profits is a big component, but do not discount. Don't equate your labor charges to be your profit. Your labor charges should be part of your cost, and above that, there has to be a certain component which you have to include, which is your entrepreneurial leadership qualities and all these other tasks that you're doing. There has to be a price for that, and then the profit. Okay, I'm going to get into a little deeper when I come to the second and the third point on how you decide which is the correct price. But for right now, I'm just going to say that don't underestimate the effort that goes into running a home baking business, guys. It's a tough job. So pay yourselves and make sure that you are also earning money. Okay. So this point is clear. Can everybody type clear in their chat box for me so that I know that you've understood this point?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, now when you're working from home, okay, and most of us are now, so you understand the effort that goes in. I think the biggest learning from this quarantine time is to appreciate all the people who run their businesses from home. I really want to applaud each of you who's putting all the effort to run a successful business from home, because trust me, guys, it's not an easy task. You are managing a household, you're managing the people around you, you're also managing your customers, you're also managing your business. And there is a very thin line that divides how much time and how much effort, how much money you're putting in for both these roles. And therefore you tend to kind of compromise on actually accounting for that time and money. Okay. The next principle I'm going to teach you is not only going to help you in your home baking business, it's going to help you in your day-to-day basis life also, and in managing your finances also. So what I do is I have a tracker. Okay, I have a tracker for my two most important resources in my life, which is money and time. Because trust me, guys, these are two things, if you can manage well, you'll be extremely successful in life. Okay, so what I start doing is I start tracking the time that I actually spend for my home business, and I also have a tracker for tracking the money that I spend on my home business. Let me explain to you why the time tracking for the home baking business. So people who make sugar craft items, they know that they'll sit in front of the TV while watching a serial and actually start molding and start doing things, or take lessons for their kids and actually make something. Okay, now you've come to that point in life where it's become second nature for you to do these things. You don't need to really put an effort, but that didn't happen overnight, guys. That happened with a lot of practice. The time that you put practicing and learning and making sure that you get it right. So don't think that that time is something that you don't need to get paid for. Okay. When it comes to money, let me give you an example. So everybody's excited for the mango season. Mango is round the corner, quarantine getting over. Let's all eat mango. Let's hear Everybody saying mango, whoever's interested, mango, mango, mango in the chat. Awesome. Okay. So I am very excited. I love mango and the king of the fruits, and I'm looking forward to making a lot and lot of desserts. And my hands are itching. It's been a long time. I haven't really made any cakes. So looking forward to making a lot of mango delicacies in the future. So let's come back to the topic. Okay. So you are going to start sending out special menus and special offers for mango cakes, mango desserts, mango flavored chocolates, blah blah blah, and you will start getting a lot of orders. Okay. Now what happens if you go to the market and just pick up six mangoes and come, and you realize that you will need mangoes throughout the week. Okay. And you get an order maybe on the third day and you have run out of mangoes. You will take a rickshaw, go to the station, go to the market, not station. Station is to take the train, but we're going to go to the market to pick up mangoes. So we'll go buy the mangoes, so you're buying them at a retail price. You're going to spend the money to go in the rick, and you're going to spend your most valuable resource, which is the time. Okay. So you're going to go in the, put in all these three resources of yours, and therefore, if you're not tracking it, you will realize at the end of the day that the price you've charged your customer for the mango cake has actually not given you, not been very profitable, because you spent extra money picking up the mango from the retail market, not from a wholesale market, spending that extra time to go there and bring it and come. Okay. And all this, unless you're tracking it, you won't realize that this is where your money is leaking. So get into the habit of tracking time and money. Okay. It works even in a I told you, in your personal life as well. You do this exercise for 2 or 3 weeks, where you start tracking where you're putting your maximum time and money, and realize that, I'm sure all of you have come to this realization in the quarantine period, that we always say we don't have time, but we actually do have a lot of time. We are just not using it efficiently. So start tracking your time and money. It will give you a lot of insight on where your bucket is leaking, where you need to fix the plugs, where you need to invest more time, and it will also help you price your products correctly. Okay. So time and money, everybody's understood that. If you've understood, can I have you type yes in the chat box for me, please? Awesome. Brilliant, guys. Brilliant. I'm loving all this participation. Really, sincerely, thank you for being so participative. Okay, the third most important point is charge the right price. Now, how do you come up with the right price? Okay, first and foremost, you have to make sure that when you go with the product to your customer, that you have set a benchmark of how your product should be, what the quality of your product should be. You have tested it time and again, practiced it, and you have come up with a product which will give value for money. Again, I repeat, it should feel like they've bought a 50 rupees pastry, but it should be so fresh and so tasty and so pleasing to the eyes that it should look like, oh wow, this 50 rupees felt like it was, worth investing. So you have to make sure that you set your, and again I'm telling you that in food business, in baking business, if you're starting your home baking business, the primary objective for becoming successful in this business is quality. Make sure your quality, your deliverables, and whatever you're committing to your customer is giving them 10 times value. Okay. And then you can price it in such a way that it is competitive with what's happening in the market. Okay, so do a little bit of research and figure out how much actually everybody is charging. Try to find a ballpark figure around that price and charge the right price. Okay. Now, sometimes when we are new, we are hesitant. We feel, oh, we are not really good at this, or we are going to take time to actually reach that point where I can dictate my terms to the customer. In that case, what I would say is that tell the customer, okay, today you're going to get this at this price. Okay, but you will eventually, the price that is going to be there is, say, so if you're charging 50 rupees for a pastry, give it to them at 45 and say, this is my inaugural offer discount, and therefore you're going to get this at 45 rupees. If you wish to avail this offer, you can tie it now, but later on we will be charging 50 rupees for it. So please grab this offer. Make it look like something that you're doing exclusively for them. Okay. The next point is that, if you're charging a certain price, do not feel bad, but do not experiment with your customers, guys. Like, somebody gives you an order for a wedding cake which looks like you can't get it right. Just because you want to make the money, you start charging a high amount of money and you quote them a big price, and then you realize that, oh my god, how am I going to do this? So the time to experiment is after, not after you actually get the order. It has to be much, much before. You have to make sure that you have done that baselining, that benchmarking much before you actually reach out to your customers. Okay. So right price, everybody's understood. Can I have a yes in the chat box if you've understood that topic clearly, please? Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, a big shout out to all my aunts from across the world. I have my Masi who's from Australia, somebody from Bangalore. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining in today. Okay, now we are also consumers. Okay, we are also people who love a bargain. So you're going to have 9 out of 10 customers saying, यार डिस्काउंट दे दो, आज पूर्णिमा है, पूर्णिमा का डिस्काउंट दे दो, आज अमावस्या है, अमावस्या का डिस्काउंट दे दो, कुछ तो दे दो, क्वारंटाइन डिस्काउंट दे दो अगर कुछ नहीं हो सकता है तो. So trust me guys, discount is something, it's a very individualistic policy. You can decide for yourself whether you really want to give a discount or not. But the policy that I always followed is never to give a discount. Okay, I don't give discounts, I give offers. Okay, so if in case I know that there's been a customer who's been very loyal to me and I want to reward him, so I'll give him an offer. Okay, I will make sure that, if I want a new product to be launched and I want people to buy it, I will keep a fantastic offer. I will tell on my Facebook page that, share my page and win a 50 rupees voucher. There you go. That's the kind of discounts that I want to give, because one of the most important things that we learned in Sophia Polytechnic while we were studying there is that do not compromise on your price, because over a period of time the money that you make is the motivation to continue to do that business. Passion aside, unless you're making money, you're not going to enjoy what you're doing. So if you keep giving out discounts and giving everything at half the price, you're going to lose your motivation. And the most human obvious tendency would be to reduce the quality, which in the long term is not a good way to go, guys. Trust me. Again, once more I'm going to say it. I'm sure you're going to get really bored me listening to me saying this, but quality is the only way you can really become successful in this business. Okay. Ah, so what are you going to do? Are you going to set your price clearly? Are you going to pay yourself? Are you going to track where you're spending? Are you going to let a customer dictate a discount, or are you going to give him an offer? So if you're not going to do all of this, then certainly you're going to be running a very successful business. Or else, trust me, guys, it's just an expensive hobby. Nothing but an expensive hobby. Okay. So this topic, I know I can actually take a webinar for 4 days, for 8 hours, and keep talking. I mean, there are so many aspects to pricing, because that's where, in the baking industry, a benchmark or the market price is not yet a standardized market price. Okay, you have people who are running a franchise, people who are individually running their businesses from home, or you have people who have standalone bakeries. So there is no standard price. Okay, and that's the reason it is important for you to understand that when you are doing this, you have to keep in mind all the factors that should make sure that neither you putting the customer at loss, nor are you putting yourself at loss. All right. Okay. The third important point. So, okay, before I go ahead, did you think that topic on pricing was useful? If yes, please type yes in the comment box for me while take a sip of water here. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. So, marketing. Okay, you found your niche. You have found out what you want your USP to be. You have decided how you're going to price it. But if you're going to sit with all that at home, do you really think you're going to actually make money? No. I think the most and the obvious thing to do next is to make sure that you start selling. Okay, you go out, find that customer who would be interested in your product and tell him about it and get him to buy it. Okay, so the first traditional way of actually doing your marketing is distributing pamphlets. Now, when I say distributing pamphlets, I mean your menu cards, your business cards, your special offers. Okay, it is one of the traditional ways, not the only way I would say, but yes, it works. Okay, people like to have a piece of paper where they can read and understand, exactly what's happening, what's the price. And the good thing about our business is that we have great pictures to show, that like that picture on that screen, that's the wedding cake that I made for my cousin. So something like that, I mean, look at that image and think about it on a poster, on a pamphlet, and you're giving it to somebody. How happy will they feel looking at that image? We are in the business of happiness, guys. So we are lucky. Imagine somebody who's in the business of giving money. They can't really go out and give money, can they? No. Okay, we are in the business of cake, so we can certainly distribute pamphlets, brochures, visiting cards. So here I'll give you an example. There's a stationery shop down the road, and most bakers would agree that the biggest target audience for any baker is kids, parents, okay, and the other people who frequently visit the stationery shops. So what I do is I set out pamphlets and keep my menu cards and things like that, so that people can pick it up, read, and get in touch with me. Put all your contact details, put your Facebook page on it, your Instagram page on it, so people are getting to know about you. Okay, this is one of the traditional ways, and trust me, guys, in a very organic way, if you want to actually spread the word about yourself, this really works. Okay, now, oh God, this is such a big one. Again, something that I can really probably do a webinar for 4 days, and we'll still not finish. Trust me, guys. Social media marketing. Okay. Anybody and everybody is on social media, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right from your vegetable vendor to the CEO of any of big companies. Everybody is on social media, and I think the current situation we are in is calling for a change. Everything that was everybody was hesitating or saying that this is ye kya bakwas hai, WhatsApp and Facebook, and I don't like to be there, and I think it's a total waste of time, will now realize that one of the ways of doing business is actually online. Okay, and it is very important for you to have a social media marketing strategy built. You should be having your presence on all the social media sites. You should invest in a good phone which has a good camera. Go and check out how you can click some great pictures and start posting and build your audience, do some offers, campaigns, and things like that. So social media marketing is a must if you're wanting to sell. And I think this works for all businesses. I'm sure all of you will agree. Okay, the third point here is free samples. Okay, uh, the biggest advantage we have is that our product speaks for itself. Now, imagine if I stand with a piece of cake in my hand and I keep telling you, it is tasty, it is chocolatey, it is yummy, you got to eat this, then look at it, and it doesn't work, right? But imagine if somebody takes a bite and they feel that sensation of the chocolate in your mouth. Yeah, we are all missing chocolate, I know, and you know how terrible it feels. I understand, but very soon we're going to be having a lot of chocolate cake. So yeah, so getting back to it. So if you actually gave a piece of cake for somebody to eat, what is it doing for you? Okay, one, it is conveying what your quality standards are to that person. It is quality, it's kind of speaking for itself in terms of the value that you're giving to that person. It is going to tell how much effort you've put to keep it fresh and make it beautiful for them. Okay, so you are actually just giving a piece of cake or a cupcake or a piece of chocolate, but it's massive advertising which happens with samples. And look at it not as an expenditure on your books, but as an investment. Okay, there are two ways in which this works. It's like if I make a bunch of half a dozen cupcakes and give it out to all my friends and family, how happy are they going to be? I mean, how many people would actually love to receive free cupcakes from me? Let me see. Can I say can I have a yes in the chat box? How many people want free cupcakes? There you go. Everybody wants free cupcakes. Why not? Yes. Yeah, I promise if you stick around till the end of this seminar, we will have some offer for you. Okay, so your free samples work in two ways. One, it has a psychological impact on somebody. When somebody is actually tasting your product, uh, they feel the confidence to actually buy from you, and they also feel a little obligated. अरे फ्री में दिया है यार, एक बार तो ऑर्डर देना बनता है. Okay, so एक order देंगे, वो आपने अच्छे से दिया, they'll give you more orders, and that's how it keeps growing. Okay, so free samples works. I have a lot of colleges and schools and social organizations. Especially in Gorai, you have these small groups which have these different Shiv Jayanti and lots of other festivals being celebrated, and they'll come and they'll tell me banner or give us an advertisement, and I only give them vouchers. I tell them, go do a Mr. and Miss pageant, or Miss Universe, Miss Gorai, or Miss Teen or whatever, and give out these vouchers to them, because I know they'll come down to my shop and buy a cake, or rather redeem their voucher. So what is happening? They're actually seeing the variety that I have to offer to them. They're actually going to get to taste my product, and they will realize that, oh, this is nice. So they'll come back. Okay. So always, the good thing about being in food business or in a baking business is you don't really have to spend actual money on advertising when you're doing, if you want to reach out to the masses, give them free samples. Okay, it will help you get repeat customers, it will help you get new customers, and it always works. Okay, and make sure that your samples and the actual product, the quality also matches. Don't just make samples which look fantastic and set expectations very high. Whatever you do on a regular basis, whatever is your standard production, that batch, from there you actually remove some stuff and give it to them so that they understand what you can do. Okay, the next point is join networking groups. How many people from BNI in this group? Can I hear a hi from everybody who's in BNI in this group? And I have somebody from BNI who's also from Kolkata who's joined here. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Okay, givers gain. Okay, that's just for people who don't know what it is. Let me just tell you that Business Network International is BNI is a group where we all entrepreneurs meet. We exchange business without commissions. Yes, we don't pay each other. We just believe in givers gain, and we give a lot of business to each other. Going out and joining these networking groups. I'm also part of the different other networking groups, women networking groups. There's a networking group in Goraya of women, and there's a Chamber of Commerce, Harshad Chamber of Commerce, where I'm part of. Now, what these things do for you is basically give you a lot of confidence to sell, because you have to go out every week, meet different people, and learn to sell your products to them so that they can go out and sell for you. Okay, so it is learning. It's also learning business skills, learning to talk and sell your products over there. You more and more people will get to know about you. You build your brand in a wider audience. So yes, go out and join those networking groups. That is another good way to market your product. Okay, the most important point. Okay, if you guys believe that these are some of the most important points that you've seen so far, can I have you type yes in the chat box for me, please? Thank you. Fantastic, guys. I'm so glad that all of you are participating here. Okay. Now, this again, the last point that I put here, that when you're actually selling to a customer, 90% of the time, if it's 100% is selling, then 90% comes from conviction. You should be convinced that your product is good, that it is of a high quality, and you're giving value for money. If you have that confidence in yourself, then it's only that 10% that you need to go that extra mile and persuade somebody. Okay, if it's the other way around, where 90% of the time you're persuading somebody to buy your product, and you just have a 10% conviction that your product is really good, there's something really wrong. What I'm trying to tell you here is that before you actually decide a marketing or a sales strategy, make sure that you have come up with something, a product which is something that everybody would want, that you are the first to sell it in the market, and everybody will be extremely happy to buy, and they feel that you are giving them 100 times more value for the money that they're paying. Okay, guys, if you found that point really valuable, can I have you type yes in the chat box? Awesome, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's those are the 3 points that I wanted to share with you. Now, it's not just important to attend a webinar and then go back to your lives and your routines again. It is very, very important for you to take action. because as Pablo has said, action is the foundation and the key to your success. So is everybody promising? I know most of you may not be having a home baking business, but at least a few lessons that you've learned here today, you're going to implement it in your daily life. Can I hear you say a yes here, please? Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Uh, so, if you felt that whatever I have spoken to you so far has been of value to you and you are wanting to start this home baking business and you need to find a mentor or a coach, okay, I have designed a module based on my experiences, my learnings for the last 10, 12 years, my entire experience put together around 20 years to design a small training module which will be done on Zoom along with lifelong support and help to make your business successful. Okay, and that training model is going to be called as the home baking business blueprint. Okay, if you feel that I can add value to your life, if you've got the message from whatever I have spoken so far, I would highly recommend you to join this course. Okay, just to walk you through what all it's going to cover. It's going to cover how to build a business plan for your home baking business, how to make there are different aspects of the business, which is production planning, financial management, quality management, a marketing plan. All of these we will I will be showing you, because this is something that I do on a day to day basis for my business. A branding and a sales strategy for your home baking business. Now, besides all of this, I'm going to offer two bonus courses. One is the digital marketing course for your home baking business. Okay, how you can create a digital marketing presence for yourself. And I think everybody here will agree that customer loyalty and your customer skills are most important to expand your business. So there are going to be modules on customer service skills training as well. Okay, how many of you think that this is going to be a great course for anybody who wants to start a business? Yeah. Okay. Now, when you type a yes here, I don't expect you to say that you are going to join for the course, but at least you think that this is something that will really help you, grow your business. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much. This feels really great. Okay. So, if first and foremost, this kind of a module unfortunately was not there when I started my business. And then most of you, I'm sure, know that you've never had anybody telling you all these business secrets. These are just the three secrets. There are plenty from where that came, guys. So trust me there. And I try to actually Google and see if there were courses around who is going to train you and tell you about how you can be very successful in your baking business. And I did not find anything. Okay, so I'm just going to benchmark the price for this course based on what I've seen in the market for other business courses, and this is the price that I came up with. Okay, now I think the three most important things that I have got because of baking are the three I's. Okay, one, income. Okay, it's again, I'm telling you guys, I mean, if you're doing any business, if you're not making money, there's something seriously wrong in it. So you have to earn money. Okay, it's given me income, it's made me financially independent, so independence. Okay, now having got these two, the third and the most obvious thing that I wanted to do was impact. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm able to train 1,000 plus entrepreneurs on how they can do this business successfully, because there are a million opportunities, guys, and every and now with the conditions the way they are, we need to find more and more avenues to make sure that we make a lot of money. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut this price. I'm not interested in so much of money. I'm happy, God has blessed me, so God has been kind. All I'm going to charge you is 3,999 for this course. Okay, this is the price that I'm going to charge you. Okay, and what it includes is 12 sessions on Zoom, a weekly accountability call, a private FB support group, lifelong online support, a special one-to-one discovery session where I will talk to you and understand what you need to do, loads and loads of templates. Okay, I have developed a lot of content to streamline my business, and therefore I can share those templates with you. All the lessons that will be held on Zoom, the recordings will be with you. And like I said earlier, the digital marketing and the customer skills training is going to be completely free. Okay, guys, this is an investment. Okay, anything that you invest into to build your knowledge is going to pay you fourfold. Okay, What I'm going to do is paste the link for making the payment for this. So, how many of you are interested in joining for this course? Can I have people post on the group? Yes. How many of you? While I just go and pull up the link for InstaMojo. Okay. And I'm also going to share with you my Google Pay number, which is 98205 09626. So, and trust, this offer is only for this webinar. Okay, guys, this offer is only for this webinar. So make sure that you are enrolling right now. Awesome. Okay. While I'm pulling up the link, I want to open up and ask people for any questions that they might have. Anybody wants to share any questions that they might have? You can post your question in the chat box. Any questions? Time to be profitable. I think, thank you, Parag, for that question. It normally, it depends on how you actually work towards this business. For me, when I started, it was very, uh, it was something that I did, when I was pretty new. And it took me a year to actually even recover my capital expenditure, to be very honest. Okay, it didn't take me more than a year to even recover what I had invested, and I did make a lot of profit in the first year itself. It is totally dependent on you. If you are doing everything right, I don't see any reason why you can't make money even from the third or the fourth month, because in a home baking business, the biggest advantage is that your investment is pretty low. So if you are good at people management skills, then you will certainly be able to uh, earn more. Okay. Selvin's asking, am I going to be teaching recipes? No, in this course I'm not going to be teaching you recipes. Okay, I am going to be teaching you the business side of it. I can guide you on certain standardizations from an operations point of view, but the technical skills, I run a different program where I actually train you in baking skills. That's a different course. Okay. Need inputs for technical requirements for the setup. Yes, good point, and thank you. You asked that question, Mandar. The course also includes what kind of licenses that you need, what are the registrations like GST, non-GST, or whether you need to get a health license, do you need a FDA license? All this is something that we'll be including in that. Okay, Purvi is asking, in the 12 sessions, which baking session will you include till now, which you have shown on the slide, or more? Oh no, Purvi, it's certainly going to have a lot more. We are not only going to do the three aspects, but it's all going to be inclusive of all the management part of the business. So we will be covering a lot more than just what is mentioned in the slides today. Yes, Rajat, I believe baking is a social cause. We bake people happy. Thank you. Seven, thank you. Bhavish, there are so many cake shops around. Do you think somebody starting you can survive? Certainly you can, Bhavish. I think I always believe in this, something that my mother's told me, that what is mine, nobody can take, and I cannot take what is somebody else's. Okay, that's a very philosophical statement and something very fatalistic view. But in reality, what I would say is, if you are consistently delivering quality, if you have identified your niche, and if you have the confidence and the right growth mindset, you can certainly be very successful in any business. I mean, competition is everywhere. You just need to find a way to be successful in life. Okay. Mandar, you're asking also equipment. Yes, of course, equipment sourcing. I will be telling you where you can get your equipment, what equipment you need to buy. Guys, everything in business. This is something that I will certainly be able to help. Meet is asking, but I need to first learn to bake. Meet, we can help you with the courses also that you want to join. I also conduct a training for baking. I can train you in baking skills as well. That is something that I can do. Okay, if you, Purvi, if you're only interested in learning baking, I will be sending out forwards to people, and sending out details for whenever those baking batches are, once the quarantine is over, you can certainly. I don't teach baking for a commercial setup. I teach it as a hobby. I'll be very honest with you. The business is something that I like to teach. But if you want to learn, home baking as a business skills, then I would certainly recommend that you need to join a proper institute and do like a 1 year full time course. Part time, you can start learning with me and start developing a few skills. But to upskill, you will certainly, I would recommend getting a proper certification. So yes, Bhavesh, it will be a complete guidance to start a cake business, hand holding to the success, and making sure you make money. Yes, I will ensure that you earn profits. This is going to be my very first batch, so that's the reason it's priced so low. I intend to do this on a very regular basis, and the price is going to increase. Um, Guys, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much, all of you, for all the live participation. I hope all of you got a chance to learn and get something from my experience. If there are any more questions that you would like me to address, please. So I'm just posting the link for payment. If anybody is interested in joining my course, that's the link. You can also Google Pay on my mobile number, which is 9820509626. There you go. When do we start, Mandar? We can start by, my idea was to have one call, and then we will get together and decide a date when we can start. It'll mostly be the next week when we'll actually kickstart this program. Guys, if you found this to be useful, we are also going to be posting this on our YouTube page. Please do share the YouTube link with anybody who's interested. Kindly spread the word for me. I am looking to impact 1,000+ entrepreneurs who want to run a successful home baking business at a very throwaway price, and make sure that they make money, and we are all be safe, be healthy, be happy. And I'm really looking forward that we are going to have more and more sessions like this. Please stay in touch. I'll be doing a lot of free sessions going forward. So if everybody is finished, then I think we will now end this call. So thank you once again. Yes, Parag, I can certainly be a consultant if you want to start a cake business. Yeah, I'm also open to looking for franchises for my business. If anybody wants to run a franchise for my business, yes, you can get in touch with me for that as well. We have multiple offers for that as well. So great, guys. Thank you once again. I think Jashan has got another webinar planned on this Zoom link, so I'm going to make sure that I don't take up too much of his time. So once again, thanking you all. And okay, last question, Bhavesh. What are the prerequisites to become your franchise? If you can send a mail uh, on this ID, okay, I can share all the details. Okay, the franchise is a very detailed discussion. Okay, Purvi is asking, there are so many competitors for this business around. Do you think this business we can sustain? Of course you can, Purvi. I think Bhavesh already asked this question. I personally believe that every business has got a competition, but we want to be the sharks. You forgot that point. Yeah. Okay. So we want to make sure that we are the only one, we are the best, and you know, just tempt them by being so bloody awesome that they don't even think about going to anybody else. That's the key to it, and I'll make sure that you do that. If you enroll for the course, I will make sure that you are going to stand out among 10 others who are selling cakes. So that's my assurance to you. Okay. So guys, thank you very much once again. I need to log off now. If you have any questions, I posted my email address, my telephone numbers with you. Please yes, thank you, Parag. I would be very interested in working in a franchise with you. Please do send the email out. Thank you, Bhavesh. Once again, I feel very, very lucky. Many thanks to the blessings from my parents, my family, my friends, my gurus, and that I got an opportunity to do this and add value to everybody. On that note, keep taking action, guys. Keep doing things that will make everybody happy. Be healthy, be safe, and stay indoors. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, guys, logging off. Thank you. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye bye.